Hello, welcome, everybody. So lovely to have you here with us today, each and every day, Monday through Friday, from 12 to 12:55-ish. We have the program called Daily with Doc, and that is where you are right now. So I love the fact that we can be anywhere in the world and still be in the same place. That is so cool. We are live streaming on Facebook. We are live streaming on Rumble under the channels Critical Health News, and also on Facebook. Look for Critical Health. This program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com, which is a group of independent distributors who have dedicated their time, and it's because they have a passion to help others, to make sure that people are getting information that is empowering, that allows them to be able to make decisions on what they can do to help themselves. Because folks, we become very dependent on an industry that has gone through 8 years of school plus to tell us how to manage sickness. Well, folks, on the naturopathic side of this, functional nutrition side of this, there is so much that we can do on our own nutritionally to help ourselves. And that's what this program is all about. Now, if you were invited by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and thank them for sharing this program with you, as they took the time to care. There's a reason that you are here today, and I am sure that there will be something within today's program that'll either get you thinking about yourself and how valuable you are, and how it is worth taking the time to look into what you're putting in your mouth and what you can do differently to create a better health journey. Now, we are joined by one of the co-founders of the science of epigenetics. Now, epigenetics, for those of you who do not know, is the science that has proven the genetic theory of disease transmission to be incorrect. Yes, you've been told you have a genetic condition. Well, chances are it's not genetic. And the good doctor that we have with us today has done the research. He's a lifetime researcher. He does not stop looking at evidence and data points and outcomes. He's very much into the whole cause and effect, and finding the underlying cause is one of the most important things. So I am so proud and honored. And I don't think I said who I was. My name is Becca Dukes. So I am proud to be able to host this program, Daily with Doc, and present to you an opportunity that will allow you to ask Dr. Wallach questions at the end of this first portion of the show about your health concerns for yourself or someone you love. So if you have questions, please find that raise hand option here in the live Zoom presentation that is going on right now. If you are out on Rumble or YouTube or Facebook and you have a question for Dr. Wallach, come and join us in the Zoom room. Go to dailywithdoczoom.com, and here for the next 50 minutes or so, we will be going through and providing information live that is empowering for you and those around you. So without further ado, Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you, Becca, and thank you, team. It's a great day because we're going to be helping so many people all around the world. Can't thank you, each and every one of you, enough. And it's a beautiful thing. Well, today I want to talk about what people can do with their own hands to learn a lot of detailed stuff that doctors know little or nothing about. We're going to talk about absorption. We're going to talk about the mineral nutrients And how do you find out about this? You need to go to the hospital for a week and do lab tests and all this kind of stuff? No. What you want to do is get a hold of the book, Rare Earth's Forbidden Cures. Rare Earth's Forbidden Cures. Thank you, thank you. Now, this book covers what goes on with mineral nutrition in the body, and all the cells and all the tissues and all the organs and all the systems of the body require minerals. There's 60 essential nutritional minerals, okay? 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids that are essential for health. And we're going to discuss primarily the minerals today. And in this book, starting at page 272, chapters 10 and 11, it goes into how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. And in a couple of weeks, you're going to get back a couple of charts. I don't know, 4, 5, 6 charts, something like that. The two main charts tell you, chart number 1, your essential nutritional minerals, the 60 minerals, and are they all in the normal range? Are they all below the bottom line? If they're all below the bottom line, that means you're not absorbing. That means you're eating gluten or buckwheat and phagopyrines and you're not absorbing, or you're not supplementing, or both, okay? And then there's a second chart that comes with the results that talks about toxic minerals. Oh yeah, I'm just full of toxicity. Well, this will tell you if you have lead or mercury, uranium, and other toxic minerals. It's a beautiful thing. It's painless. You can do it yourself. You don't need a doctor's permission to do it, and so forth. You collect the hair, tells you how to do it, and you send it to the address. In the book, it tells you how much it is, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check or the money. If you're in a foreign country, you want to put a money order in there, so you don't have to wait for a month or so for the check to go through all the systems. Okay, and this will give you an enormous amount of information. And so I get letters all the time from government agencies. Well, tell us what each mineral does in the body. Well, that's why we have 22 best-selling books, and especially this one here, Rare Earth's Forbidden Cures, chapters 10, 11, starts on page 272, goes into this hair analysis, tells you if you're absorbing, tells you what minerals are low, which minerals are too high. And of course, it doesn't give you a lot of explanation in the charts, what's going on there, but it just gives you the results. And so you have to go back to the book, Rare Earth's Forbidden Cures. You go back to the book, Epigenetics. You go to the book, Hell's Kitchen. You go to the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. You go back to the book, Immortality, and you get the information as to what all this data means, okay? And this information, used properly, can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. I'll repeat that, can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life, save you an enormous amount of money, save you an enormous amount of unnecessary misery. And why do you want to spend, the last 5 years of your life mostly at the doctor's office and the hospitals, and you're in the hospital for 3 months going through lab tests, and doctors, well, we see this and we have to test for F, G, and E because of what's happening in A and B, and they have no earthly idea what's going on. They're just groping around, okay? And so this is where we've gone to a great deal of trouble to get this information on there. And we have several other books. We have the book, The Wallach Revolution. It's a 75-year journey of major discoveries, 75-year discovery of major discoveries, okay? And it'll blow your mind what we know about diabetes, what we know about high blood pressure, what we know about arthritis, what we know about osteoporosis, what we know about heart disease, what we know about lupus, what we know about irritable bowel syndrome, what we know about fibromyalgia, what we know about liver cirrhosis, what we know about asthma and birth defects. I'm the guy that got rid of cystic fibrosis, thought to be a terrible, terrible birth defect in humans. Well, I've got a new book out called Primates. Okay, go to page 260. Don't start reading chapter 1. You start reading at page 206, and we'll tell you, okay, the story of how I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a laboratory monkey at Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University. And they fired me when I told them it wasn't a genetic thing, it was a simple nutritional deficiency. And that's when I went, it's a long story, but I went back to school and became a naturopathic doctor. I've been teaching and and serving humanity as a naturopathic doctor and researching since 1982. Okay, very proud of that. And this information is available to you. And if you're a longevity associate, the purchase of these books is tax deductible because it's, part of your references for running your practice. Okay, they make great, wonderful gifts to family members, to church mates, workmates, neighbors, friends, strangers, anybody who needs help. It's tax deductible when you give it away, or you can sell it, okay, for what you paid for it. Or if you buy 10, of them, 10 of one title at the same time, get a nice discount. So you can sell at the regular price, make a little bit of money to help, run your business and all that kind of stuff. But it's one of those things where this information is unimpeachable information. And people really should be getting a hair analysis every year, because especially if you're traveling, if you're working as a salesperson, going from city to city and state to state and eating out a lot and so forth, you need to be getting a hair analysis for looking for toxic minerals and also looking for deficiencies. And again, it's tax deductible because it's part of your health program. And it's one of those things where you can be independent and do this yourself. And I just am so proud of our team and all the things that we do with the hair analysis. Again, Rare Herbs and Cures, Hell's Kitchen, epigenetics, the Wallach Revolution, immortality. It goes into all the long-lived cultures, what it is they do consciously and what it is they consciously avoid. And we have 5,000 products, okay, that help you deal with all these issues, problems, deficiencies, and get you back on track. And you don't need to go into a hospital for 2 weeks and run all these blood tests. Of course, I've got insurance. Well, yeah, you run a bill for $2,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, and insurance will pay for it. Okay, but your insurance rates may go up in a year or so as a result of that. Okay, but they're not going to give you the information you're looking for. Okay, they're going to give you the information that will justify doing a double knee replacement, double hip replacement. They will, justify putting you on 3, 6, 8, 10, 12 different prescription drugs, based on what the laboratory findings are. Okay, and so this is one of those things where I just get excited because I know this is one of the things that you can do yourself. You don't need to be a doctor. If you can read the 6th grade reading information, we did this in such a way. If you only know the 6th grade reading level, you can do it. Now, let's see here. We, which I say, using all these systems, we got rid of cystic fibrosis, thought to be a genetic disease birth defect. We got rid of muscular dystrophy. Gave all the information to Jerry Lewis. He was a great inspiration to me because he was just tireless in trying to find the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. We found it, and he took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fired Jerry Lewis, just like the Yerkes Primate Center fired me. The Muscular Dystrophy Association fired Jerry Lewis, put a gag order on him so he couldn't say anything, and shut down the telethon, which had raised $2.4, $2.6 billion for them. And they summarily terminated him and put a gag order on him. And he died several years later, but he knew that we had found the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. He was happy about that. And then we also got rid of sudden death syndrome, SIDS. And doctors were saying for years and years and years and years and years that mothers were laying on the babies and suffocating. It was a simple nutritional deficiency. And one of my great attorneys, Jonathan Nemord, and I, we sued the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, in federal court 8 times on this subject because medical doctors had stood in the way of putting these nutrients into baby formulas like Enfamil and Similac. They said, well, these nutrients are poisonous. Well, we prevailed in court, got them put in, these nutrients put into the baby formulas. Within 90 days, the new cases of cystic fibrosis dropped down to almost nothing. The new cases of muscular dystrophy dropped down to almost nothing. The new cases of sudden death syndrome dropped down to nothing. Okay, and you don't hear about those 3 diseases anymore because those nutrients are still in the baby formulas. Now, of course, when they have trouble making the baby formulas because they can't get the raw materials and people are just getting milk for their babies, you're going to get a spike of some of these birth defects because those nutrients are not in there. Okay. And so this is where we came up with Kids Toddy, our baby formula, which has those nutrients in there. So you shouldn't have to have those problems because we have Kids Toddy. So with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Becca and the team.
Well, Dr. Wallach, I have a few questions in regards to the hair analysis. So it has the charts. You've got low, acceptable, and high for the nutrients. And then there's also the same for the toxic, and then you have ratios. So if you are just barely in the acceptable range on that first chart, is that good enough?
No.
Or do you want to be higher towards the high?
Well, you want to be at least in the middle. You don't want to be at the low end of the low, okay? Because if you're eating gluten, bad stuff can't absorb. And so this is really, really dangerous because you go out and, do a big spaghetti dinner, and for the next 2 weeks, you won't be able to absorb any nutrition kind of thing. So you don't want to have a slim margin like that. You want to have a big buffer zone. I want to be up there above best, okay? I want to be above best when it comes to nutritional minerals
So you
because
want to be better than acceptable? Is that what you're saying?
I want to be better than acceptable. Acceptable is just sort of like ho-hum.
Okay. Okay. And then my next question, Dr. Wallach, is in regards to ratios. Okay. You've got acceptable value of one thing and acceptable value of another, and then it's got your low ratios, acceptable ratios, and then your high off the top. I know within the chart it has a balance of where you want to be, right?
Yes, it shows you where ideal is, and you want to work towards getting ideal. Okay, and this requires two things. Number one, get rid of the bad foods so you can maximize absorption. That's why we came up with a book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It's 300 pages of, there you go, 300 pages of safe recipes and cooking methods. All right. And it's very, very important because you have to be able to absorb all these nutrients. Okay. And 300 pages of safe recipes and acceptable, okay, nutrients and so forth. And so this book is very, very useful. And it has the good food, bad food list in there, okay? Every family needs at least one of these, okay? And when somebody gets married, they're going away to school, better get them a copy of that book because, well, I do take a one a day. I take vitamin C every day. I hear that all the time. And then they're eating gluten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they're taking vitamin C every day. That's why they have problems, okay? You got to be much more, which I say, in tune with reality, getting rid of the bad stuff, doing the good stuff. And if you are going to be working out, exercising, you want to be using a rebound or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. You don't want to be just drinking water and rehydrating. I get that all the time. People say, well, I rehydrate every time I exercise. I exercise twice a day and I rehydrate. I drink lots of water. Okay. That's why you're in trouble. That's why you have knee pain. That's why you have back pain. That's why you have high blood pressure. That's why you have diabetes. All these are nutritional deficiencies. And you're paying a price because you're just rehydrating. You're not sweat lick your arm when you're sweating. It'll taste salty. Sweat is a collection of all the nutrients floating around in your blood. It's not just water. Okay. And so when you're sweating out all these nutrients. And if you're just replacing water, you're gradually losing the mineral reserves in your body down to where suddenly now, a year after you started exercising, a year after exercising, now you can't even get out of bed because your knees hurt you so bad. And the doctor said, oh, we got to give you a double knee replacement. We haven't even looked at me. Well, yeah, you're at that age. The best thing, we just give you a double knee replacement, and then you won't have complaints anymore. And then he can send his kid to college.
Well, we're here to help promote wellness, Dr. Wallach, instead of sick management, help to promote the body's ability to do what the good Lord designed it to do. And that is to create cells over and over again for our entire life here on
Amen.
Earth. Yes. And folks, if you've got garbage going in, those cells are not going to be healthy cells. They require nutrients to be able to recreate in a healthy manner.
And remember this record that was set in 1997 by Jean Calment from France. She died in 1997, 122 years and 164 days. A French lady. Okay. Now, if a French lady can live to be 122 years and 164 days, everybody in the world can live to be well beyond 120. And of course, the Hunzas, their life expectancy is 120. Many live to be 130, 140, 150 because they're getting all these minerals. And so pay attention to those details, and you can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life, save yourself an enormous amount of unnecessary misery, save yourself an enormous amount of money, and add many, many healthy years with the people you love.
Absolutely. And, healthy goes beyond just breathing, just being able to sustain life on pharmaceuticals and be able to enjoy it. Because I remember there was a time where I did not enjoy life, Dr. Wallach, and I was only 30 years old. So 22-ish years later, I feel a whole lot better than I did then. And I'm very thankful to you and all the work that you have done, because that's the only thing that I found that was able to help me get to where I never thought would ever be possible again. So, because I was doing a lot of cherry picking of my supplements, Dr. Wallach. I was taking this, I was taking that. And when we're talking about the ratios and the hair analysis and the charts, the nice thing, Dr. Wallach, that I appreciate the most about the products that you formulated, the products that are offered by the company that you started, which is Longevity, is the fact that they are synergistically blended. So you have all those key nutrients. You have the synergistic nutrients that are needed as cofactors for actual absorption, plus the nutrients are in an absorbable factor, in that form that the body can take in to the cells. And then those extra cofactors that allow even deeper and better absorption. I remember when I first started, Dr. Wallach, I saw some comparisons, the one a day that you mentioned, plus some others compared to the absorption rate of the Longevity products. We were looking at 6 to 24% absorption on the over-the-counters. And then they did the Longevity products with over 90% absorption. That right there got me, because as an herbalist, I was wanting to make sure that what I was putting into my body was going to be utilized. And with the Longevity products, it must have worked. I must have been absorbing. And then when I did find that there was a bad foods list and started adhering to that, it just started working even better. I wanted to mention something, because we were joking. Okay, we were joking before the show about, hair analysis and having to send in a hair sample and just, cutting all my hair off. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It just takes a little bit at the back of the nape of the neck, and not even that much, but about an inch. Clean hair. You want to make sure that you do it after you're showered. I thought about doing it here on the show, but I put products in my hair to keep it from frizzing, so I wouldn't have been able to use them. But you do want to make sure that it's freshly showered, and about an inch, cut it right at the skin, and then you cut it off, put it in a clean plastic bag, put it in an envelope. Plus, all of the instructions are right there in Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. You want to get the book, and you can get the book at drjwallach.com. And for those of you who are not familiar with how to spell Wallach, it's WALLACH. That's drjwallach.com. And one of the main reasons for getting the book, Dr. Wallach, is so that you can understand the minerals and what that hair analysis is actually telling you.
That's correct. That book was designed to educate people on the need for minerals, what minerals do for you, why they're required, why we have such a tremendous need for them today, where they weren't paying much attention to minerals back in the old days, except for salt, sodium and chloride. But today we need much more than that, because back before 1882, we were using wood and coal for fuel, and the wood ashes and coal ashes were put into the gardens. There are 98% minerals and 2 or 3% carbon, and the beets and the carrots and onions and so forth and corn would all suck up the minerals, and we would eat the vegetables and the fruit and the berries and tomatoes and things like that. We get the minerals that way. Well, once we switched over to electricity, there was no more wood ashes, there was no more coal ashes. So we wrote a book called Hell's Kitchen, and that book goes through the transition from wood and coal as fuel. There you go, from wood and coal as fuel to electricity. There are no minerals provided by electricity. Now, electricity has been great for industry, manufacturing, and that kind of stuff. But the side effect of electricity has killed more people than all the wars that humans have participated in since the beginning of written history. Okay. And it's because we were getting all these minerals through our food, through wood ashes and coal ashes. And I have to appreciate nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And that's why there's some places on earth where people don't live very long. And there's, you know, like in, what is it, places like, oh, let me look here. I think it's Africa. Okay.
Well, Africa, yeah. So there's many areas of Africa, Dr. Wallach, that has a low longevity.
Yeah.
But the United States
East
is
Africa
low.
is 59 years of age. South Africa is 63 years of age, is their life expectancy. And then you get the Hunzas up in the Himalayan mountains, are 120 years of age. Okay, because they're getting all those volcanic ash in their gardens and their fields and everything, but they're not getting that sort of stuff in Africa. And so that's why they have such a low life expectancy. But if you take the vitamins and minerals, you take the 90 essential nutrients, the people in Africa can live just as long as people in Hunza. Okay, it's not a genetic thing.
Well, I've been a little bit spoiled by this stuff called electricity, Dr. Wallach. So going back to not having it, and then I think it's just easier to take the 90 essential nutrients.
Oh, yeah.
And not worry about it. And then
I'm not telling people to give up electricity. I'm just saying you better be taking your supplements, because electricity requires that you take the supplements.
That's right. That's right. So, and I love to garden. So I love the fact that we also have blooming minerals that I can put in my soil for all of those root vegetables, all the vegetables actually.
Mhm.
As Dr. Wallach has mentioned, plants don't make minerals. And I've had people come back and say, well, I've looked up the nutritional panel for this, you know, vegetable, and it shows that there's these minerals. Well, you can take analysis of a plant of a carrot in California and compare the nutritional analysis to a carrot even in New Mexico, and they're not going to be identical when it comes to minerals, because the minerals, if they are not in the soil, they will not be in the plant. As Dr. Wallach said earlier, plants do not make minerals. They have to be in the soil in order for them to be present in what we consume.
Well said.
I get that argument quite a bit, Dr. Wallach. Well, the nutritional panel says this, and the USDA has posted it. I'm like, that's all great and fine. Where they did their analysis, that's probably what they found. But that's not going to be uniform across all areas of the world. So I love the fact that we have that golden ticket, Dr. Wallach, where we can keep everything smooth and straight and just keep going. So, yeah, sorry, Doc, it's me. Mom was calling. Let's go to hands that are up. And I know we've got, and we've got comments here also. I think this one came up first. So Scott out in YouTube world, Dr. Wallach, says he has a nephew that is 16 years old, weighs 140 pounds, and was told yesterday after a scan that he was born with bone spurs. Can this be reversed with mineral supplementation or not?
It can be reversed with complete supplementation, because there are vitamins that are needed as well as the minerals. Okay. And so this kid is, let's just assume per 100 pounds of body weight, needs to get rid of all the bad foods, including gluten, no oatmeal for breakfast, none of that kind of stuff, no buckwheat for breakfast, no biscuits, no donuts, all that stuff's got to go. Okay, carbonated drinks, including the diet ones, got to go. Carbonated water got to go. And then no oils. Get that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. This kid needs all that information. And then we need to get a hair analysis, see where he's at, okay? But it won't hurt. You say how much? 100 pounds?
140 pounds.
140 pounds, okay? I'd go with 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, because he's a growing kid at 16. And so a full dose of everything twice a day. He needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That'll help support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including those bone spurs will shrink back into the bones. Bone spurs are caused by muscles pulling on soft bones and causing a spur to come up out of the bone. But when you rebuild the bone tightens up and that spur will go right back into the bone, okay? You don't need to do surgery and all that kind of stuff.
No, not at all. And I know
Don't forget the
whenever I did
rebound.
my
Don't forget the rebound for this kid.
cheers,
Cheers.
I've had my rebound. Yes. I know when I did my MRI, they told me that I had bone spurs head to toe, Dr. Wallach, on every single joint.
So
And
you're gonna cut your head and your toes off?
well, they wanted to do back surgery, and I said, no, thank you. I wasn't going to go there. But after taking the nutrients, it was incredible because I had x-rays just within the last 3 years. And I asked him, I said, well, what about all the bone spurs? And the doctor that looked at it, he said, I didn't see any. I'm like,
Look
oh,
at that.
well, that's awesome. So the fact that, for me anyways, to go from having bone spurs on every joint, head to toe, shown on an MRI, to then having x-rays that didn't show any, I think there's a little bit of significance there and what the nutrients are able to do when you give the body what it requires to have strong bones.
Yeah, bones are not poured concrete. Bones are living tissue, and they are impacted by pressure, and including pulling by the tendons on the bone, which are inserting into the bone to make you lift your leg and to the back or the front or twirl it around, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
And so your bones are living tissue. And so before you submit to a double knee replacement, double hip replacement, give us 90 days, and the odds are you won't need that knee replacement and hip replacement.
And the 90 days go by really fast, Dr. Wallach. Really fast. Well, let's go to a hand that is up here with us here in the Zoom. And let's go to Kathy. Kathy, go ahead and unmute.
Hello again.
Hello, Kathy.
Hi, I was thinking about I have a lot of issues, but what is the first I get dialysis. I do dialysis. I spoke to you guys about that, and lupus. I have sleep problems, hair problems. So what is like the first couple of supplements I should order to get started, and then I can add other.
Okay, let's go with the dialysis and lupus. Okay, 2 very common diseases. Lupus is said to be an autoimmune disease by the medical system. It's not. It's a very simple disease caused by malabsorption and also nutritional deficiencies. Okay, dialysis is caused by inflammation in the arteries in the kidneys, causing an inability to urinate properly and control blood pressure. And how much do you weigh, Kathy? What's your body weight?
100 pounds.
100 pounds. Okay.
Yeah, 103.
Okay, 100 pounds. We'll give you a freebie on those 3 pounds. Okay, so 100 pounds. What you want to do is get rid of all the bad foods. And you've heard this, but this is for the rest of our viewers and listeners. Absolutely, you need to get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. All right. It goes through the healthy, let's see here, the good food, bad food list, very important. Then no fried foods, no processed meats, no ham, no bacon, no bologna, no salami, no pastrami, no hot dogs, all that's got to go. Pepperoni and jerky, all got to go. Then absolutely no gluten, no wheat, no brown rye oats, no wheat, no brown rye oats. There's no exceptions, no wheat, no brown oats. There's no good thing, there's no good oats. Okay, no buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but they have fago, F-A-G-O pyrines, okay, which are worse than gluten. And then no sugar and no carbonated drinks. Now, you see here, dialysis, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to take one healthy brain and heart pack per month. One healthy brain and heart pack per month. That's 215 nutrients. Take a half a dose of everything at breakfast, half a dose of everything at dinner time. I want you to get one bottle of our MSM, so you take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. Then I want you to also take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Get 2 bottles a month, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And they will support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, including the blocked arteries in the kidneys, support healthy blood pressure. And don't cold turkey off your blood pressure medication, and don't stop your dialysis, but the doctor will tell you, we might be able to cut your dialysis from 6 days a week down to 3 days a week because you're urinating better, your blood pressure is better. Okay. And so, just do it based on the numbers. And then the lupus is a deficiency of nutrients causing problems with the brain and the spinal cord, the skin. You have skin problems. So I also want you to have the hair, let's see here, the hair, skin, and nails. Hair, skin, and nails, get 2 bottles of those. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. Hair, skin, and nails. It's going to help you with your skin, which goes along with the lupus thing. And don't forget our ultimate enzymes. Go ahead and take 2 of those, say 2 to 5 minutes before each meal, a couple ounces of water. That's our ultimate enzymes. It'll take you 2 bottles a month of the ultimate enzymes. And that will help you with the lupus, which has a malabsorption piece to it. But again, you got to stay away from all the bad foods, including the gluten and the buckwheat, so your intestines will be able to absorb the nutrients. And lupus goes away very quickly. Usually in 2 to 6 weeks, it'll get significantly better. And in 2 to 3 months, it'll be gone. I don't care if you've had it for 40 years. Okay. Give us a call every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story, Kathy.
Okay, thank you. And what about collagen peptides? Is that good to take too?
Okay. Yes, our collagen peptides are fine.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
several different collagen peptides. Not all of them include the enzyme that the body needs in order to break down the collagen to the point where it can be absorbable.
There you go.
Ours has it.
Okay, and there's one more thing, sleep. I have a problem with sleeping.
Sleeping?
Yeah, I can't go to sleep a lot. Get a good night's sleep.
Okay, well, we have what's called Sleepies. You can go ahead and take our Sleepies, take a dose of that, say a half hour before bedtime, Sleepies. And don't forget the Synaptive. Get a couple bottles of Synaptive, so you can take 3 of those twice a day, and they will help your brain cells talk to each other and relax. Okay. And
okay.
no
Oh,
sugar.
okay.
No sugar. We got to run.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Kathy. Dr. Wallach, while we're on the diabetes and dialysis question, I have a question that came in from Marilyn, and Marilyn wants to know, can sugar or too much sugar be the cause of diabetes?
Well, sugar and too much sugar are not the cause of diabetes, but they will actually precipitate a clinical case. Diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98% of the diabetic population, is a simple nutritional deficiency. There is 1 or 2 nutrients, either one alone or both together being deficient, will cause type 2 diabetes. That's why it's easily prevented and easily reversed, because it's a simple nutritional deficiency. Now, when you're right on the borderline and eat lots of sugar, you're going to precipitate, a classic case of diabetes. But if you're avoiding sugar, okay, and you're right on the borderline, you may squeak by, okay, unless you're eating lots of carbohydrates, okay. But you need to be taking all 90 essential nutrients. And of course, if you get sleepy an hour after a big meal like dinner, that means you have reactive hypoglycemia. Those same nutrient deficiencies will cause that reactive hypoglycemia. And so it's essential, okay, get a hair analysis. Get that hair analysis and see what nutrients you're low in, what nutrients you're missing. But don't forget, you get a hold of that book, Rare Earths and Cures, get a hair analysis, and get a hold of the book, Epigenetics, get a hold of the book, The Wallach Revolution. It goes into type 2, and all those books go into the type 2 diabetes. It's a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. You get rid of it in 2 to 6 weeks. Okay, it's very simple to get rid of. I don't care if you've had type 2 diabetes for 25 years. Okay, and you get rid of all the bad foods. You get on your 90 essential nutrients. You take the extra stuff. Money's a problem. Get on what we call the healthy blood sugar pack, which is our healthy start pack, and the sweeties. And you test yourself like you're supposed to, and you'll see your blood sugar come right down. And it goes away very quickly because it's kind of like when you have anemia and you give yourself iron. The iron helps your bone marrow make more red blood cells, and you're not, in a couple of weeks to a month or so, you're not anemic anymore. Same way is true with type 2 diabetes. It's a very simple nutritional deficiency disease, easy to prevent, easy to reverse. It's not genetic. If it runs in a family, it's because you live in a place where those minerals are low in the soil, and so you're eating vegetables at the local grocery store that are grown locally, and you go to the green store and everything's organic. Organic means nothing when it comes to these mineral nutrients. Organic just means that they didn't use bug sprays. That's all that means.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And Farhan, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey guys.
Hi.
So be quick. Hey, Dr. Wallach. Let's see here. So this is for my cousin. She is 5'4" tall, 141 pounds, 31 years old. She has a foggy brain, a focus problem, memory issues, white hair. Her hair is falling. She has some acne, and she's tired. She's tired a lot. What would you recommend?
Okay. Well, she needs to get rid of all the bad stuff, right? Get a hair analysis so she knows exactly what's going on here. Then, get the book Rare Earths and Cures. Go to, again, chapter 10, 11, page 272. That'll tell her how to cut the hair, how to package it, where to send it. Don't forget to put the check in there because the labs won't run the test without it. But in the meantime, at 141 pounds, I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. The full dose, everything twice a day. None of the bad foods, of course. Then I want her to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And that'll help her restore cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the skin and so forth. I also want her to take our collagen peptides, take a scoop of that with her morning drink, a scoop with her evening drink. Okay. Then I want her to take our healthy brain and heart pack. Oh, I already said that. I'm sorry. I want her to take the hair, skin, and nails. There we go. I want her to have the hair, skin, and nails. Take 2 bottles of that a month, and her hair color will come back. And of course, that'll be very, very important. Okay. And then I also want her to use our Rebound, our sports drink. Okay. She can take 2 doses a day. We have the sticks. There's 30 sticks in a box. Each stick has 100 nutrients in it. We have the powder. There's 36 servings of the powder. Each scoop has 100 nutrients in it. And then we have the cans, but you have to pop the tops on the cans the night before you're going to drink them, put them in the refrigerator at night. They'll be safe the next day. Have one at breakfast, one either at lunch or before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And she'll have the energy, and the tiredness will go away, because tiredness goes with everything from low blood sugar to not enough nutrients for the muscles to work correctly. Liver isn't working properly. So start there. But the hair color should start coming back pretty quickly, because it's not an aging thing. It is, in fact, just a simple nutritional deficiency disease. But you got to get rid of all the bad foods so you can maximize absorption. Okay?
Awesome. Really quickly, is there anything you could do with hemophilia, reversing it? Or just
Okay, well, hemophilia, of course, doctors want you to believe is a genetic, form of disease in the bone marrow, right?
Hmm.
Okay, but it could be just a simple nutritional deficiency of the bone marrow. And so again, I get that hair analysis, see what's going on there, and is she, or is this somebody else you're talking about?
Somebody else that just has that issue, and yeah.
Okay, well, they need the 90 essential nutrients. They need to be able to absorb the nutrients, get rid of all the bad foods, and I would kind of put an effort on extra things like the EFAs, let's see here, anything to do with rebuilding the bone marrow to make more red blood cells. So that means the
Osteoarthritis.
yeah, the OsteoFX. Okay, OsteoFX. I'd go there. I would also go with the the OsteoFX and the collagen peptides, MSM. They will all help the bone marrow make more red blood cells. Okay.
Perfect. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. God bless you, Farhan. Thank you for all the good stuff you do.
You as well.
All right, let's quickly go right to the next hand that is up, and we're going to go to Marilyn. Marilyn, go ahead and unmute yourself. And do you have a quick question for Dr. Wallach today?
In the chat, Nora, she's asking, what does Doc think of the carnivore diet with a high fat and a lot of meats? She said there are videos of several different types of doctors with testimonies of reversing diseases and also lay people, several for over 13 years now. And she said she saw 2 videos reversed cancer.
Okay. Well, I'm not big on a diet that focuses on one form of food. I want to know what supplements those doctors were given these people as well. Okay. Were they giving them a carnivore diet and a lot of supplements? Were they just giving them a carnivore diet? I don't think they were just giving them a carnivore diet. Okay. If you're going to do a carnivore diet, I would throw in the liver. Okay. Liver, it fits in the carnivore diet, but the liver stores a lot of nutrition, a lot of mineral nutrition, a lot of vitamin nutrition, essential fatty acids. But I would also take a hair analysis and get the 90 essential nutrients if you're going to do the carnivore diet. But I would not focus on one form of food. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and go right over to Ruth Ellen, who has her hand up. Ruth Ellen, do you have a question for Doc today?
Hi there. Yes, I have a question from YouTube, and I just have to find it because there was some talking. Okay, so Annette would like to know, she says, hi, doctor, age 80, 165 pounds. I have neuropathy in my feet. Have to take some Balta and Lyrica 2 times a day to control. And then she wants you to know that she breeds show bull terriers and she's very active.
Okay. Well, at 155 pounds, I want her to get rid of all the bad foods. She needs to get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods, good food, bad food list. And then she could have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, neuropathy, causing pain down her legs and in her feet and all that kind of stuff. Okay, sometimes it happens, because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord. Okay, we need to know how many times she gets up at night to urinate. At any rate, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day, 2 bottles of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. I want her also to have 2 canisters a month of the collagen peptides. So she can take a scoop at breakfast and a scoop at dinner time in the drinks. Okay, to help rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and disc between the vertebrae and bone makes a bone itself. And then for pain, we do have the CM cream. Okay, which can go on her knees and her hips and her toes and feet and ankles and muscles in her calf and thigh and so forth, low back. All right, back of her skull. Put it on the back of her skull so she can actually relieve some of the inflammation on the spinal cord. All right, and so vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day for somebody her age. I wonder, because she's probably not getting in a bikini and going laying out in the sun 3 hours a day. Okay, and so she needs vitamin D3 to maximize absorption of the minerals and put them in the right place. And let's see, if she needs energy, she can use our rebounder sports drink.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach.
You
I'd
bet.
like to say that CM cream is fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's a blessing, that's for sure.
Thank you again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, most definitely. And Dr. Wallach, I think we have time for one quick question that has been sent to us through email. And Harry, he is a coast-to-coast listener, Dr. Wallach. He works all night long, and fortunately, he has a position in security where he can still listen to you. But he has a concern about his girlfriend, and it doesn't give weight or anything like that. So we'll be giving recommendations per 100 pounds. But he says, my girlfriend talks to herself. Is that normal, or is there a cure for that?
Okay, well, talking to oneself is, constantly is not a normal thing. Okay, this has to do with maybe demyelinization of the brain, losing the white matter of the brain. So there's a lot of short circuiting going on in the brain. Per 100 pounds of body weight, this gal needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. Then per 100 pounds of body weight, I want her to have 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want her to have 1 bottle a month of the MSM. I want her to have 3 eggs twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. Okay. Poached, soft boiled, soft scrambled in butter, not fried, not hard boiled, to rebuild the myelin, the white matter of the brain. The brain and spinal cord is 25% by weight. Both of them are 25% by weight cholesterol. Ho, ho, ho. We also have the I-26, which says right on the label, provides 25% of your daily requirement for cholesterol. It freaks out everybody. I've never seen that on a label before. And we also need the synaptive. She can take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month of the synaptive that help the brain cells talk to each other. And let's see here. I would also do our rebounder sports drink in case there's a, maybe a low blood sugar problem or something like that involved. So anyway, I would start there. Let's see what a hair analysis says. And that will help us be more specific. But doing what we just said will cover a lot of territory.
Absolutely, Dr. Wallach. And one thing that I really like about the I-26, you mentioned how it has 25% of the recommended daily allowance for cholesterol. The way that this is formulated, it actually works on pathogens also, and helping to create a very healthy flora within the digestive system. Is when your digestive system is toxic, that's sending toxins to the brain too, which then affects the brain and the body's ability, or the mind's ability to be able to function properly. So Dr. Wallach, I think I-26 was perfect for that, for those 2 functions, not just 1.
Wow. Yep.
So that's awesome. But it is time for you to go ahead and scurry to your next appointment. Thank you again so much for joining us on Daily with Doc. We greatly love and appreciate you.
Well, thank you, dear. Thank you for making things happen. Thank you, team, for making things happen. We love to do this, and I respect each and every one of you for participating in this and helping us help so many people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, Dr. Wallach. And if I could get my co-hosts up here, because I could not do this without them. We are a team. There's talents that each and every person out there has. And when you're able to take talents, even if it's just 1 or 2 little talents, and putting them together in a big way, it makes a huge impact. And I am so grateful for the time that my team adds to this. And folks, if you were invited by somebody to watch this program, you have a team. Get back with that person and thank them for sharing this information with you, and ask them what you can do to help use your talents to help them and build their team as well. If nobody invited you to this program, or you were sent here by one of our newsletters, because we do have a newsletter, you go to criticalhealthnews.com. We have an amazing newsletter that goes out, and we're also putting a newsletter together with completely different information for Daily with Doc. So if you go to dailywithdoc.com, make sure you look for the ability to be able to sign up for our newsletter as well. And that'll also give you an email once a week that gives you information and links to our replays that we have there on the website, dailywithdoc.com. You will also find all of the replays from our past programming, including Ask Doc Live, Ask Doc Daily, Daily with Doc, and also another ongoing program that's only once a month, and that is Q&A, questions and answers, with pharmacist Ben Fuchs and myself. We have all of the replays there available for you to be able to watch, learn, be a sponge, share with others, and squeeze out just a little bit of the knowledge that you gain in order to help somebody else gain better health. On behalf of myself, Becca Dukes, my co-hosts with me today, Farhan Nasir, Marilyn Pizzera Spear, Sherry Browning, and Ruth Ellen Sanchez. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.